honoring our heroes. A look at the military history in Presque Isle. I'm Sean Cunningham. I'm here at the Veterans Memorial Park in Presque Isle. Let's learn more about the history of this site. Veterans Memorial Park in Presque Isle serves as a solemn tribute to the brave men and women who have served in the armed forces. This park provides a peaceful and reflective space for family members and visitors to honor and remember the sacrifices made by veterans. This 1.3-acre park was constructed by the city of Presque Isle, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and the American Legion to honor those local veterans who served their country in time of need. Located at 703 Main Street, the park consists of a large grassed area with a monument and several benches located on North Main Street overlooking the Presque Isle stream. A permanent display of a decommissioned missile carried as part of the weaponry of a B-52 bomber is a recent addition to the park. It serves as a reminder of the Cold War and the roles of Loring Air Force Base and Presque Isle Air Force Base in the defense of our nation. Now we talk to local veteran and chair of the Aroostook Veterans Alliance, Jim Gehring. Tell me a little bit about what exactly is the Aroostook Veterans Alliance and how did that come to be?
We started that back in 2017. We were working as a veterans organization with Homeless Services of Aroostook. When what we were doing then and what we do now is entirely different. Because we've had more experience and more money. When we started out, a veteran and his or her family would arrive at the homeless shelter. We would be notified. We would send a service officer to the shelter, interview the veteran to find out his status, whether or not he needed to have claims filed, if he needed mental health services, whatever he needed. Did he need to get up to Caribou at the time to the clinic? We would take him up there. And then the veteran would end up working with some of the agencies. And the biggest problem with that was they would put the veteran in a brand new apartment with nothing, no furniture, nothing. So we started providing necessities for the veterans. And we were spending an amazing amount of money, $200 a veteran, because that's all we could afford. But we did get them the basic things that they needed. A couple of years later, we ran into what then was the Veteran Service Officer of the Elks. We got talking and they asked me what we needed. And I said, I need a lot of things, including furniture, that we have no place to store.
So fast forward to today, what are you doing now?
Now we have a whole warehouse. When a veteran transitions out of the homeless shelter into permanent housing, we can furnish everything you need to start up a new home. Everything. Kitchen, bath, bedroom, living room, dining room, whatever. So what we do is we have a group of people, 30 of us together, all of whom are veterans or veterans' spouses. Right. And we move them in. And we're always looking for good furniture, not the junk you were going to haul to the dump, but stuff that we can replace with these veterans as they move. That developed into other programs. We now have a special spouse support group that meets once a month. It's not only for veteran spouses, but for any man or woman who would like counseling with their marriage, or talk about their marriage, or talk about their problems. Right. And they meet once a month. We also file claims for the veterans. And our biggest, I think, problem right now is the veterans, the Vietnam era veterans, which is my era, are starting to pass. So we run seminars on all the things you need to do before you die. In fact, I was just on the phone this morning with Bill Flagg. We're going to do another one November the 16th up at the Chan Center. And we invite their families because a lot of the benefits that the veterans have today go away immediately when they die.
Wow.
And most of the families do not realize that. And of course, because it's the VA, there's all the rules and regulations you need to follow. And that's what we provide. And we do that about once every 3 weeks, we're getting a call.
Wow. How many people have you helped to date? Do you know?
Well, since I started in 2001 as a service officer with a national organization, I have helped over 1,000 veterans in Aroostook County. That includes men, women, educational benefits. The majority of it, though, is filing claims for veterans. It's really interesting that veterans will talk to veterans, and they do not want to talk to the government, quote unquote. That doesn't mean if it's state, federal, or local, they feel more comfortable talking with a fellow veteran that can help them out. And that's the gap we fill. And we work locally with our congressional group, King Collins and Jared Golden. They provide a lot of support for us. They've been fantastic. Another organization that we do.
Let me ask you this real quickly. What's the next project? You're always looking to create projects. What's the next need do you see?
Gosh, wow. It's not the next project, it's an ongoing problem. Is getting the information out to the community that they have the benefit of the programs that are available. We did a survey, 40% of the veterans in Aroostook County have no idea that they've earned benefits and they have those things coming. So getting information out is the critical component, because we're not going to change what we're doing principally because it's working quite nicely. We have veterans that are homeless that are not even in the shelter. We get referrals, and we also do non-veterans. We get a call that somebody needs help, they need furniture, that's what we do. We also work with Veterans Forward, which is a new organization up here. I don't know if you're aware of them or not.
No, what exactly is that organization?
That's new to the county. They also help veterans, but they have ongoing funding. We don't. We're a 501c3. We get a lot of help from the Elks, but we have to raise our money each year. If you've been around town, if you've seen a bunch of people out with little American flags, that's us.
I know that. Do you feel like are we doing enough in this community, or could we be doing more to spread awareness about the fact that you all exist and that there are so many veterans that don't even know they have their benefits? Do you feel like that your particular group is at the forefront and that people know, or could we be doing more to educate, inform, and enlighten people?
We need to do more. You'd be surprised at the number of calls that we get. My husband is ill. He's going to die in 2 months. What do I need to do? What are my benefits? There's no conduit to get the information out. If you go and log on to the VA website, you could spend 2 hours just trying to figure out where to go.
Wow.
There's too much information. Half the veterans up here in the county, especially over 70, don't have computers. And everybody's reliable on computers. So we're going to start doing classes. We just had a meeting Sunday with a group that's going to start providing additional educational classes. We still got to get the folks to the spot, right?
Right.
So any help we can get from anybody in terms of getting the information out. Obviously, that's something you may be able to do because of your new position. And we really appreciate it because we don't advertise. We can't afford to advertise. we've got $30,000 in the bank. That's it.
Mhm.
And the price of furniture, if we don't have it, we buy it.
Right.
Okay. So you get a veteran that needs the microwave. Well, we don't have any in stock. So we go out and buy, you know. So that eats up your budget, pretty quickly.
Mhm.
So
Well, I'm happy to do these stories and do these ongoing because I know that these stories need to be told and we need to educate and rally people around this because this is not something that we just, kind of want to bring attention to on Veterans Day or Memorial Day or Pearl Harbor Day. Or
exactly.
we want to do this I mean, the same way we talk about the importance of letting people know about cancer, the same way we talk about the importance of letting people know about taxes and all these other issues. I feel like your particular group should be also at the forefront. We should never not be talking about this because that's when change stops.
Yep. Well, you should know, because we're very proud of this. We are the only organization in the state of Maine that does what we do.
Mhm.
Nobody else. We get calls from downstate on how do you do it?
Mhm.
How do you transport your furniture? And you tell them 7 old Vietnam veterans in pickup trucks with trailers. That's how we move people.
Mhm.
And they laugh and they think it's a joke. And we go, no, it's not. That's how we do it.
Mhm.
I turned 78 yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
My point is that at some point, we aren't going to be capable to continue what we're doing. And we've got to draw on the younger veteran crowd to start filling the gaps.
How are you doing that?
We are very particular in our membership. Number one, you have to be a worker. You can't come in, sit down at the table, have a cup of coffee, talk about the war, and move on. We don't do that.
Mhm.
We do not have an auxiliary like most organizations do. We have a salt and pepper organization. Our women and ladies are co-chairs.
Mhm.
We do a salt and pepper organization every other job because the ladies bring a whole different dynamic to the problem
Mhm.
because they're the ones that have to live with us
Mhm.
and they need support and help as well.
Mhm.
And so you begin to draw the younger crowd through that. The spousal program that they've got going, uh, even the VA was surprised. They never thought about it.
Mhm.
It's held at the VA in Presque Isle, and the counselor up there said, nobody's ever asked me about doing this.
Right.
So there's not getting the ideas out there, which means we're not getting the information out there.
Mhm.
So it's satisfying and it's frustrating at the same time.
Mhm. But it gives purpose, gives your life and your group and the dynamic in your organization purpose.
Yep.
Mhm. So if anyone's watching this, and there will be, and they want to get involved, how can they? How can they reach you? How can they get involved?
We have a brochure. We have a Facebook page, Aroostook Veterans Alliance. My phone number's on there, along with the other service officer's phone number. We're happy to talk to anybody. If we don't have the capability of helping the veteran and their families, what we have is the ability to get them to the right people.
Mhm.
Okay. So if it's a congressional problem, you got 3 ways to go, right? And we've capitalized on that over and over again. If we have difficulty with the VA, we can go to our congressional representatives and say, we need help. Or we have a problem veteran that needs help that we can't take care of.
Mhm.
We can go to the right people. So we have our fingers in a lot of different organizations. And I think one of the best that is working with us is the VA themselves out of Presque Isle.
Mhm.
And if I mentioned some names, you'd know those people anyway.
Yes, I do. In fact, I've interviewed a few of them.
Yeah,
Really quickly, what do you have going on Veterans Day? Do you have anything?
absolutely nothing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's another frustration.
Mhm.
We don't need to go out and march, wave the flag, go home.
And then forget about it till another year. Yeah, I get it. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for your service, most of all. And thank you for what you're doing to pay it forward to other vets. I so appreciate you. Thank you.
Well,
This will be the one of many and of us reconnecting. And I will do my part in wanting to keep this in the forefront because it's important.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All the help you can give us is appreciated. Believe me.
Oh, I feel like it's my way of paying it forward and giving it what should be done anyway. We should be having these discussions.
On our next installment, we talk to another hero who shares his insights on being a veteran in northern Maine. For Honoring Our Heroes, I'm Sean Cunningham. Thank you for watching.